On Osrc News at 7, political parties express readiness for Ondo governorship election. Federal government tax states, local governments on environmental surveillance to curb cholera outbreak. Southern governors strategize on economic growth, improved security. And from the foreign scene, church attack claims lives in Russia. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on OSRC television. I am Oyewumi Ayinibara. The Southern Governors Forum has announced the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, as the new chairman of the forum. At the meeting held at the Presidential Lodge Ibarra Housing in Abeokuta, the chairman Southwest Governors Forum and Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, said Prince Dapo Abiodun was unanimously selected to serve as chairman, while the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, will serve as vice chairman. Speaking to the State House correspondent after the meeting, the Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Ayedatiwa, who was represented by his deputy, Dr. Olaide Adilami, said the meeting was a fruitful one. He noted that a communique will be released soon to elaborate more on the resolutions reached at the end of the meeting. In his acceptance speech, the chairman, Southern Governors Forum, Prince Dapo Abiodun, thanked the governors for their resilience at developing the southern part of the country. The Southern Governors are meeting for the first time after the death of late Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, former governor of Ondo State, who was the chairman of the forum until his demise. The Ondo State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, is set to conduct physical interviews for prospective teachers seeking employment in public primary schools across the state. In a statement by the board's Director of Information and Public Relations, Prince Bolu Ajijo, the exercise will commence tomorrow in the Northern Senatorial District, covering 6 local government areas. According to the statement, interviews will be conducted by a panel of seasoned bureaucrats from relevant ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs. The panel includes representatives from the Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, National Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE, and Education Secretaries. Over 13,000 livestock farmers in Ondo State have been inculcated into the livestock productivity and resilience support LPRES projects and intervention of the World Bank through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to liberate the livestock sector of the country. The state's project coordinator, Olufemi Adegun, read over the statistics during a presentation of the progress performance in the state to the World Bank representatives as the National Coordination Office of the project, who were in the state for assessment exercise. Osrc's Joy Pius report that one of the objectives of the project is to strengthen the country's capacity to respond to farmers' conflicts in Nigeria.
The Livestock Productivity and Resilience Supports LPRES project team, which comprises the World Bank team, led by the task team leader, Dr. Manivel Sene, and the National Project Coordinator, Dr. Sanusi Abubakar, are in Ondo State on the 3rd Implementation Support Mission of the project. Briefing the team on the progress of the project in Ondo State, the project coordinator, Olufemi Adeogun, noted that the State Coordination Office has profiled over 13,000 beneficiaries who are livestock farmers, as well as processors and marketers of the selected value chains of poultry, pig, sheep, and goats farmers in the state. Adeogun said the State Coordination Office has also constituted grievances redress committee across the 18 local government areas of the state to address various crises among herders and farmers. According to him, designs for the construction of Artificial Insemination Center, Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory, Abattoir Incinerator Center, establishment of sheep and goat markets to help boost production, and resilience of livestock in the state are all in place.
We are going to work with 3 value chains: poultry, sheep and goats, and pig. And all those farmers, they are going to be benefited, either they are producer, processors, or marketers.
Reacting to the development, the task team leader of the World Bank, Dr. Manivel Sene, and the National Project Coordinator, Dr. Sanusi Abubakar, stated that considering the onboarding of a state, the implementation progress is still on course. However, identifying areas to improve upon to achieve success.
We are not expecting much activities actually on ground. It's just for us to ginger them up so that they can have a smooth takeoff. And I think so far so good, they are having a smooth takeoff.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Foluke Tunde Daramola, assured of speedy implementation of the project.
They have enlightened us the more, we've been educated the more, and we're going back home to do the needful. So it cannot but succeed.
Earlier, the team had visited some farmers and facilities for first-hand information about livestock status in the state. Elpress is a 6-year World Bank-assisted project through the federal government's Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, with over 20 states, including Ondo State, subscribing to the project. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Political parties in Ondo State are gearing up for the forthcoming November 16 governorship election in the state.
Looking at the way, the manner in which he emerged as the candidate of the party or as the governor of the state, you will see that he has been divinely destined to govern this state. So, I as a person, there are a lot of qualities I see in him. His calmness, his brilliance, and having served as deputy governor, he has the experience to take this state to make it a signature of all eyes. We are going to put things in order. Why is it? Looking at the way, the manner in which he emerged as the candidate of the party or as the governor of the state, you will see that he has been divinely destined to govern this state. So, I as a person, there are a lot of qualities I see in him. His calmness, his brilliance, and having served as deputy governor, he has the experience to take this state to make it a signature of all eyes. We are going to put things in order. Why is it that this country, this state is full of fertile ground. There's a being power, and I joined a lot of people to also exclaim that a being power, because there's hunger, palpable hunger in the land. There's starvation. There's death. So what are you telling the people? What you are telling the people now is that, look, you have seen PDP in governance, you have seen APC in governance. The choice is yours.
You're still watching Osrc News at 7. Southern governors strategize on economic growth, improve security. This and more after the break. Please join us then.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Give your child Bonvita. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support mental and physical vitality. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Thank you very much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook. The Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) has cautioned politicians in Ondo and Edo to refrain from arbitrary attack on journalists on essential duties during the forthcoming elections in the state. The union made this declaration via a communique issued at the end of its quarterly National Executive Committee NEC meeting held in Ibadan between Thursday. The Nigerian Union of Journalists has urged President Bola Tinubu to resolve the lingering issue of minimum wage of Nigerian workers. The union also called on the president to address the pending issue with the Academic Staff Union of Universities before it snowballs into another major crisis. NUJ, in a 17-paragraph communique issued at the end of its quarterly meeting in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, stressed the need for the government to look into the recommendation of joint labor on the issue of the minimum wage. NUJ President Chris Iziguzo, who addressed newsmen, said the federal government approved 62,000 naira minimum wage is not in reality with the present economic situation in Nigeria. And our President Bola Tinubu has directed that all civil servants drawing salaries from the government after relocating abroad should be made to refund the money. The President, who was speaking at the program organized by Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation, expressed dismay over the attitude of ghost workers. The President said he was particularly struck by the revelations the head of the civil service shared regarding employees who had relocated abroad while drawing salaries without formally resigning. He, however, expressed his commitment to ensuring the welfare and development of all civil servants to deliver optimal performance for the growth of our nation. With over 200 million people, Nigeria is witnessing a boom in demand for meat. There are, however, worries that the rising cost of cattle in the country may affect the affordability of beef for Nigerians. Osrc's Troy Pius x-rays the development and reports that stakeholders in the value chain are lamenting the effect of the hiking cost of cattle on beef availability and affordability in the market.
According to government estimates, Nigeria consumes 360,000 tons of beef each year, accounting for half of all West Africa. Nigeria is experiencing a historic demographic expansion and a spectacular change in food habits. With a population growth nearing 2.8% per year, the country's domestic production is far from being able to meet demand. Amidst the growing population is the challenge of grazing, facing nomadic cattle herders from the north, leading to influx of the herders in the south, a major trigger of farmer-herder clashes. Cattle is a major source of meat in the country, with many households consuming beef as alternative to chicken, pork, or others due to its relative affordability. The price of beef in the market has jacked up, creating worries among the masses.
If I buy 500 meat now, see, this one now, just 500 meat. If I do not go, what is give me? This one too small.
In Akure, consumers lament the surging cost of beef, saying the development might take the meat out of the reach of common man.
A kilo of meat was being sold formerly for 4,000, but to my knowing, the second day I had how much? Now it is 6,000 now. It really needs urgent attention. If not, you need to see the rate at which hunger are ravaging homes these days. Ravaging hungers everywhere.
ẹran tí wọ́n rà ní 200 naira tí wọ́n rà ní 500 naira ẹ̀rí pé ó ti da 2,000 tó ti da 5,000 so kò sí nǹkan tá a lè mówó lọ́jà tó ṣe rà ń sìn tẹ́ bá dèdè ẹran báyìí kò ṣe rà so everything ló ti wọ́n.
Leadership of National Butchers Association in Akure South local government blamed the rising cost of beef on the increment in the cost of cattle, which they say is becoming unbearable.
Now the money of cow is too high. Now since 2 months ago, now the cow I buy like 250, 300. Now it's 500,000 naira. Now I consider making the people know with this thing. The situation is no good. It no pay us. Now if I get another business, I will leave it now to do another business. Gone before. Now the business I with it in almost 35 years. What I want go to do now?
Bí a bá dé bí ẹran tá a ti rà níbi 400,000 tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ 350 tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ ó di 700 750 800 so ká tó sanwó abattoir ká tó san ká náà tó jẹ ká tó a ò rí nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹran tí à ń ta kò fẹ́ sẹ́ran 1,000 mọ́ àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ fẹ́ jẹ ẹran wọ́n máa láǹfẹ́ ẹran 500 adẹ́n sálàyé fún wọn pé ọjà wọ̀ bọ́jà 500 mọ́ ẹran gan 1,000 gan kò jọjúmọ́.
The butchers solicit the intervention of government at all levels to address the bottlenecks in the interest of the public. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Special Advisor designates Mrs. Sheil Osamaye has returned home in a federal local government to intimate a townsman on new responsibilities. Within 2 weeks, Mrs. Osamaye was appointed member of the Governing Council of the Federal College of Education, Okene, Kogi State, by the federal government and Special Advisor to Governor Aiyedatiwa on Women Affairs. Omorionla Ngbiji has details.
It was a homecoming for Mrs. Sheil Osamaye, who returned home to intimate her community of her political appointments. First port of call was the palace of Alara of Ilaramoki, where people of the community were patiently waiting to receive her. Speaking on her appointment both at the state and federal level, Mrs. Osamaye expressed delight, saying it caught her unawares.
I don't have any sense of entitlement whatsoever. I'm just grateful that I'm being considered for this exalted position of a Special Advisor, Women Affairs. We agree with that women constitute 60% of the total population of the state. So for me to be assigned as someone to give advices, that will promote the cause of women in this state, it means the governor has so much confidence in my person.
While expressing her concern for the welfare of women, especially the downtrodden, the Special Advisor designate promised to utilize her position to better the lives of rural dwellers.
By God's grace, we will not fail the women of Ondo State. We will ensure that we do all we can to ensure that the women are taken care of. Their welfare, their social welfare are properly taken care of.
Reacting, Alara of Ilaramoki, Oba Abiodun Adefeinti, lauded Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa for the honest selection, saying Mrs. Osamaye had always displayed a high level of responsibility.
Ilaramoki is lucky that we are having such people, and as I said during my introductory speech, it's good that we have this kind of thing happening in our town. She's representing Ilaramoki as a whole, and we believe she's going to be a good ambassador to each and every one of us. And I must use this opportunity to thank the governor for doing this for us.
Mrs. Osamaye also visited Onibuji of Ibuji, Oba Sumonu Ojo, where she was received with warmth. The monarch thanked the governor for the honor and advised Osamaye to put in her best in her assigned portfolios.
She should continue to develop herself in behaving well when discharging her duty. She should continue to respect her oga, loyal to her oga, faithfulness to her Oga and dedicated to her duties.
Mrs. Sheun Osamaye's name was announced, among others, on 19th June 2024 as Special Advisor to Governor Ayedatiwa on Women Affairs. Omoriola Hungiji, Osrc News.
Residents of Akure have expressed concern over incessant flooding due to inadequate drainage and poor channelization, leading to property damage and health hazards during the rainy season. Roads in some neighborhoods in the state capital are flooded, making it impossible to move around and putting both residents and motorists at risk. Osrc's Tosin Adebowale completes the story.
Akure, the Ondo State capital, is experiencing a familiar yet troubling situation as the rain continues to pour down, with many people having to deal with the effect of inadequate drainage infrastructure. The poor condition of the city's water channel has become a major worry. Many homes have experienced flooding, leading to property damage and the displacement of several families. The stagnation of water has also raised fear of waterborne diseases as residents struggle with the challenges of inadequate proper channelization. An educationist, Adelugba Adekombi from Odo Ijoka, voiced his annoyance at the poor state of the water channel, claiming that people in the environment are always trapped whenever it rains.
Nobody will be able to go to our homes or our business places, like our schools there. Whenever there is rain, we cannot go to the school. It makes it difficult for the pupils to come to the school environment. So in that case, we employ the government and we beg them to help us to intervene. And some people that are living in this environment, it affects them. Some of them are they pack out of this environment.
Mr. Jolly Adi, a businessman, expressed displeasure at the state government's inaction. He also called on the government to expand the waterway as erosion is eating away the landscape.
If we look at the direction of where the water is coming from, you see that the government still have a little things to still do again here. At the direction of the water now is not going directly where it's supposed to go through. So the erosion is affecting the land of this side. Why it was supposed to come straight and pass directly. So because of this thing now, if we have any heavy rainfall, the water will full up to the stage that it will enter towards the very place.
Mrs. Adeniyi Yusuf, who runs a small fruit stand store at Fuashayi area, lamented low patronage and attributed it to flooding whenever rain falls. She also made a plea to the state government to complete the construction of the channel.
If let's say government help us do it, may they as a hand where they take hold and may they do it completed. It will not be, we for happy, it will not be any problem.
As the rain persists, the Ondo State government faces growing pressure to provide lasting solutions to prevent future crises and ease current difficulties being faced by citizens. Tosin Adebowale, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has issued a flood alert in 15 states across the country amid forecast of heavy rainfall from June 21 to 25. The National Flood Early Warning System Field Center of the Federal Ministry of Environment, Abuja, in the alert stated that the listed locations and environs are likely to witness heavy rainfall that might lead to flood within the period of prediction. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Environment, Mr. Mahmoud Kambari, called for the provision of safe, functional sanitary facilities and waste management materials in communities across the country, insisting that it is key to tackling infectious diseases. The federal government has called on state and local governments to scale environmental health surveillance in places where food and drinks are sold nationwide. The Minister of State Environment, Isiaq Salako, who gave the directive in a statement, said the place include markets, garages, schools, restaurants, stadiums, religious and sporting events venues. Salako stressed that the measures would help avert further spread and transmission of cholera, as well as aid in the prevention and control of the diseases. He also urged all commissioners for environment and the local government chairpersons to support environmental health officers across the country to step up sanitation and hygiene activities through enhanced community-led total sanitation. The minister also said arrangements have been made to support most affected states with chlorine solution or tablets, water and food testing processes, resources to avert further transmission across the country. Meanwhile, the Ogun State government has confirmed 25 cases of cholera in 7 local government areas of the state, with 1 casualty from Ijebu North local government in the Ogun East Senatorial district of the state. The state's Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, said free surveillance and emergency treatment have been activated in all 20 local government areas of the state. She identified Abeokuta South, Abeokuta North, Obafemi Owode, Ijebu North, Adodo, Ota local government areas as the most hit by the disease, while assuring the general public of the preparedness of the state government and its development partners. She, however, asked residents to maintain a high level of personal and public hygiene to contain the spread of the disease. The National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has raised an alarm over a falsified batch of Giga S injection. The falsified batch, according to NAFDAC, was purchased from a renowned store located at Arare Market in Aba, Abia State. Giga S injection is indicated for the treatment of severe infections due to susceptible organisms, including septicemia, pneumonia, and meningitis. According to the agency, although this falsified batch product was identified in Abia State, it may likely have been distributed to other parts of the country through informal markets. NAFDAC implored importers, distributors, retailers, and healthcare providers to always exercise caution and vigilance within the supply chain to avoid the importation, distribution, sale, and administration or use of falsified or substandard medicinal products. On security, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has assured Nigerians that the Nigerian Army Headquarters is committed to resolving all security issues in the country promptly. This, Lagbaja said, would be done in a way that will be favorable to the country and citizens. At a roundtable with stakeholders in Abuja, Lagbaja stated that the Army would continue to operate without reservations to ensure the safety and security of the country. He also urged Nigerians to support and trust the Army and other security agencies in their efforts to restore peace in the country. Another foreign scenes, gunmen have attacked churches, a synagogue, and a police post in Russia's North Caucasus region of Dagestan, killing at least 15 police and National Guard officers, several civilians, and an Orthodox priest, along with 6 attackers. According to authorities, at least 12 people were injured in the attacks, which took place in the cities of Derbent and Makalaka on Sunday, the festival of Pentecost for the Russian Orthodox Church. Videos posted on social media and shown on Russian TV showed the skies of Derbent, which is home to an Asian Jewish community in the mainly Muslim region, filled with smoke and flames after the synagogue was set on fire. Tosin Adebowale now reports.
A quiet Sunday evening was interrupted by several armed attacks in Russia's Dagestan region. 2 Orthodox churches and 2 synagogues were targeted in the cities of Mahachkala and Durrant in the regional capital of Mahachkala. A traffic police post came under fire too. The attackers shot several law enforcement officers almost point blank. Among the first victims of the attacks were Father Nikolai Katernikov, an Orthodox priest in the church in Durrant. The killer caught his throat while church guide Mikhail Abdul.
And with that story, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at one of the top stories. We told you that political parties in Ondo State has expressed readiness for Ondo governorship election. The All Progressives Congress APC says all hands are on deck to ensure the party goes into the election united for success. And that's the news tonight. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.